You've been vibing with Jazzy B. Oh, I know you've been vibing with Jazzy.
All right, everybody. This is your girl Jazzy B, and honey, you not watching, but your doggone sure is listening to Vibing with Jazzy B. And today, honey, all the way in Atlanta, okay, right here, right now, I got Devyne Blessings in the building, honey. She just not in mine, okay. Hashtag coronavirus is real. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling good. How are you?
I'm making it. I am making it. It feels good to be on the phone with a beautiful voice on today.
All right. Thank you.
So first of all, I want to get into it. Your publicist, they reached out and they were giving so much information about you from all the shows that you've been on and everything that you're getting ready to work on. But honey, for the listeners, I want you to introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I don't require introduction, but no, I'm just playing. I'm humble. I'm humble. No, my name is Devyne. Recently, just stepping off of Ready to Love show, which is on the OWN network. Had a great time filming that show. So that's what I'm most known for right now.
And so with that show, right, so many people, I've actually recently been asking people, my sister is a fan of the show. She's been a fan of the show. And so a lot of people right now, being that the coronavirus is going on, we're starting to go to Netflix. And I'm noticing that people are starting to gravitate to the show Love is Blind. Mm-hmm. So I want to know, for the people who haven't watched the show that you've been on, but watching Love is Blind, are you familiar with that show?
Oh my gosh, I'm very familiar. I actually hung out with those guys during their finale a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really invested in that show. I love it.
Oh my God. First of all, which one is your favorite couple? Or which one did you know was already going to be a couple?
The Lauren and Cameron, for sure.
Off the rip, yes.
Instant connection.
Most definitely. So for the people who are familiar with that show and not familiar with your show, I want to know, for you, what are some things that you can let viewers know? Because one of the things that my husband and I were saying, we were like, listen, I love this show, but I'm interested in seeing some real Black men and, just be on the show and really have an opportunity to just show what that would be like. So for you, what would you say the comparisons would be from both shows?
They're two different shows. One, the show that I was on, Ready to Love, the end game is pretty much, okay, you meet someone and you continue dating off camera and you see where it goes. Of course, with Love is Blind, the end game was a whole wedding, so it's two completely different dynamics there. And of course, I got to see who I was dating. They didn't get to see who they were dating, but
of course,
two totally different dynamics. One is drastic and one is just kind of like, you can break up if you don't like each other after a few months. So
you interested in doing a show that crazy?
Exactly.
And especially with you being a finalist, with your show, I'm interested in knowing, what have your life been since? Has your DMs been blowing up more, honey, or what's going on?
Oh my gosh, the DMs are on fire. They're on fire.
Yes.
but they're not on fire from guys trying to take me out.
Yes.
Believe it or not, it's more so, a lot of women, I would say 90% of women saying, I really appreciate how you represented yourself on the show. You carried yourself with class. You're my favorite show. And I would say maybe 40% of those women were asking me for advice, confiding in me about problems that they're having. Probably had about 2% ask me for some cash, ask me for my Cash App.
Of course.
Some cash. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much, the feedback that I received in my DMs. Not so many from men trying to take me out, because, what they see on the show is that I ended up in a relationship. And then a lot of times, the men are like, oh, okay, she's on TV. She's kind of out of my reach right now. So
exactly.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on in the DM. It
okay.
does go down in the DM, though. It does go down. That's for sure.
Oh, honey, I'm sure it does. I mean, literally, and I'm sure even right in person, because like I told you before we even press record, you are absolutely beautiful. And I feel like it's such a difference today when you say that somebody is beautiful, because these days, you know, you can go to your favorite doctor and become beautiful overnight. But what's beautiful to me personally, honey, is when you are beautiful on the inside. And you really, really are. And I feel like you really displayed that on the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, it's, all I could do was be myself. You know what I mean? I'm not an actress, you know.
Yes.
I'm not
You
an
can say
actress.
that again. Say that again, because you know when it comes to reality shows, a lot of people really believe that a lot of you guys are paid actresses.
They do. They do. And I mean, there were a couple of, actors, and I don't know if they were paid actors and actresses, but there were some actors and actresses, on the show. And, people, when they watch, they don't realize that we have real lives. And, after we film, we go back to our 9 to 5 and work. It wasn't like your reality show like The Housewives, where, being on reality TV, that's your full-time job. All of
Yeah.
jobs and careers, that people didn't realize. So I had to pretty much be mindful of that to make sure that I govern myself accordingly, because, I know my CEO was going to be watching. I know, potential future investors are going to be watching. So, I had to make sure that I maintain my composure at, as much as I possibly could. But with that said, there's also a lot of editing that goes on,
Come
that
on.
can
Yes.
make you look a certain type of way, favorable or unfavorable, but what cannot be edited is your personality and your character. That's something that cannot be edited. So pretty much what you've seen from everyone on the show is pretty much their true personas.
You know, you really just said something, honey, that you just messed me up. Like I almost moonwalked because literally, but listen, honey, I can't moonwalk. See, I'm at the tender age of 27, where it's like I'm at the two-step stage, but the twerk is still in me, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, the twerk is gonna be in everybody. There's 80-year-old women out here twerking online, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's okay, right? But see, I have an old soul, so it's like when I get excited, it's the oldest dances that come to mind, like the moonwalk. You get what I'm saying? But you definitely got me excited because you said something that I really have always felt. A lot of times when we're watching shows, such as I was just watching The Real Housewives of Atlanta, right? And you see like a person like Nene Leakes, for instance, where you hear so many people who say how amazing of a person she is outside of the cameras and all of that, all of those things. But if you watch the show year after year after year, it comes off as if she's super confrontational and all of these things. And many a times I've said, dang, I really love Nene, but she do come off, confrontational. She always want mess, but you said something. Sometimes it's your personality can't be edited, but sometimes things can be edited where they only will show the bad side of you. They only will show that so you don't have an opportunity to create your narrative. So that was really, really, really a gem that you just dropped, and I just don't want nobody to miss that. What's some other things that you can say about reality TV that most people don't understand, but they want to get into it?
And that's it. Pretty much the editing. I mean, we would film a scene for at times 5 hours, but they would only show 3 minutes. And basically, the production team could say, okay, we're going to make her the classy girl. We're going to make her the angry Black woman. We're going to make her, really soft spoken and vulnerable. We're going to make her the flirty girl. And then pretty much throughout filming, they'll take bits and pieces of those scenes of whatever storyline that they created for you, and that's what they will show, and that's what you end up becoming to the world. So, that's pretty much how it goes down.
So being that you protected yourself in a way where you were definitely smart, like you said, you realized that you were still going to have to live when you got outside of the show. I'm interested in knowing, would you do it again?
I would do television again. I would not do that type of dating reality show. I would entertain any opportunity, but I would be very, very careful.
You could have a spinoff.
Hmm?
Like you could have a spinoff. Like you're that girl, like on the show that you could be the one. If anybody else, you could legit have a spinoff where we're just interested in your life, seeing how you go. Like you could legit have the camera still following you right now, and we will watch.
Man, it'll be a hit too, because
Okay.
I have a lot going on. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, and I've heard that a lot. I've had so many people in my inbox, you know, what's next? When can we see you again? When can we see you again? I'm like, wait, I'm just trying to decompress off of this, you know, off
Right.
of this show here because it was a lot. You know, we filmed for, you know, around 10 weeks. And, you know, during that time, I'm looking at maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep. And, you know, it was very difficult. You know, then you have the social media dragging aspect that
Oh, honey.
Black Twitter is no joke, honey. I mean, relentless.
Woo. Girl, listen, I literally said that if instead of all the businesses and everything closing, like what would life be if social media could just shut down for a few weeks? Like, what would really happen right now? Because I feel like so many people, man, have just gotten so caught up into the crazy world of social media. People don't know who the heck they are no more. I don't know what's happening.
Man, look, with these filters, you know, that you use on your pictures, I don't know who I am anymore. I'll look in the mirror and say, wait a minute, who is that? No.
Cut it out. Listen. Oh my God, girl, listen, you live in Atlanta. How is that? How is it living in Atlanta and having confidence? I'll leave it at that first. How is that?
How is it living in Atlanta?
Being able to actually live with confidence while living in Atlanta with all of the bodies and the you know the beauty and the you know everybody's a boss and like how has that experience been for you as a Black woman?
You know, well, first of all, everybody isn't a boss. You know what I mean in real life. You know, but
Speak now.
a lot of people try to create that perception on social media. There's a lot of clout chasing. You know, there's a lot of you know pretending. I just found out that people will actually rent luxury vehicles. You know, just to pose in front of those cars to post on their social media. So you
Come
know,
on.
yeah, and you know, but you know, there's a lot of beautiful women, you know, in Atlanta, which makes dating hard, you know, and then there's a lot of aggressive women in Atlanta, which makes dating hard. So, you know,
I'm sure it makes marriage hard as well out there.
oh
With
yeah,
that being said.
it's a playground for men. You know, I just focus on me and do me and, you know, stay prayed up and just pray that what's ever meant for me is going to come my way. And I don't worry about anybody else and what they have going on and, you know, how they look. I just pretty much focus on me.
Man, so talk to me a little bit about the teenage you. How were you when you were a teenager, and what are some things that you wanted to do when you became an adult?
Oh, girl, Jazzy. So as a as a teenager, you know, I was you know, really unattractive, dorky, super nerdy. Yes, super nerdy. I got
I need receipts. I don't believe it. I need receipts for that
my
first.
goodness. I will send you a picture. I got bullied and picked on, you know. I remember a guy telling me, you know, you're going to be a virgin forever. You know, and that stuck with me.
No.
Yeah, so I was bullied. I was very unattractive, very awkward looking, you know, very tall, very, very, very thin. I'm eating cupcakes and milk, you know, for breakfast, trying to, you know, gain weight, very insecure, very smart, super smart, so much so that I would get picked on and bullied, you know, do my homework to a point where I dumbed myself down so I would not be in gifted classes.
Wow.
And then, you know, when I got my bifocals taken off and got contacts and got my braces taken off, someone approached me about modeling. So I learned how to, you know, make myself look better. I would probably say my senior year in high school. And then, you know, people took notice and then I just kind of blossomed from there, actually. But, you know, very withdrawn, very quiet, very introverted, got in a lot of fights. As a teenager because I was a nerd and everybody picks on the nerd. So I think growing up from that type of experience of getting bullied made me very strong my adult life and made me very, you know, firm to a point where I really don't take any mess off of people because I did that my childhood life.
Yeah.
So it groomed me into being a very, very strong individual. And then, you know, it had me have the mindset of, okay, I have something to prove. You're going to pick on me for being smart, but watch what I turn into. So
Come on. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's my story.
I love that because, I share with my viewers all the time that so many times the very things that we hate about ourselves, the very things that people bully us for, the very things that we maybe have even asked God many a times, like, God, why did you bless me? Like me, I've always had a very big heart. I love, you know what I mean? And I will love you through anything you go through. And a lot of times, when I got older, I'm like, yo, God, like, why did you make me like this? Why do I forgive? And now as an adult, those very things have made me who I am.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I love that. And so what I want to know from you in those moments when, you were bullied, at those moments where you maybe didn't feel beautiful enough, and those moments where the guys told you the foolish thing that he told you, I want to know at that moment, can you still go back there and talk to somebody who may be going through that very thing today? And what is something that you would tell that person as the adult you today?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have a daughter. My daughter is 24. So, I've watched her deal with the same thing in terms of
Wow.
bullying, same exact thing. It was like I was watching myself, grow up. And, just constantly reinforcing that she's beautiful, and just, making sure that she recognizes what is unique, within herself, and falling in love with her uniqueness, and what makes her different and what makes her stand out. And just, continuous positive reinforcement that seemed to work.
Yes.
She grew up to be a very, confident and beautiful young woman. So
I love that. So, what's some hidden talents that the world don't know about you? What's some things that you do? I feel like you got some poeticness in you. I think I just made up a word, but I'm not sure. But I feel like you got it in you, though.
you know what? I used to rap back in the day, so I had some bars back in the day. Speaking
I
of poetic,
feel it.
I constantly, I like to drop gems every now and then. But yeah, I love to cook also, so that's definitely a hidden talent, and photography. But yeah, and
Okay.
a lot of people don't know I had bars, back in the day, and I was heavily into the music industry as well in my
Get
college.
out here.
Yeah.
Now, was that something that, now that we're talking about, is that something that, you would actually bring into play now that we're in 2020?
No, no. I'm slow
I
to be
was
a rapper.
expecting you to say that.
I don't know, unless a 401k comes with rapping, yeah, I'm retired.
Hello. Hello. I'm not mad at you. I love the fact that you do that. And so when you say food, because obviously you're saying that you have a 24-year-old daughter, which is so shocking. And anybody who's listened to the sound of my voice, Google her picture. I promise you, you will never in a million years imagine. So with that being said, excuse me, I got a cough. I feel it in my spirit, but I promise I ain't got the virus. Hold on. Because you got to explain now when you cough or sneeze, you have to. There's no other way. Like, you
Yeah.
have to do that. But when it comes to the food, with you looking the way you look, that it's obvious that health is important to you. So what kind of food do you like to cook? What are you into?
Everything, soul food. I can really get down on soul food. I'm part Italian, so Italian dishes, definitely. I can pretty much anything and everything. Filipino dishes. So, dishes from different countries I like to experiment
Yeah,
with as
you
well.
do. You're part Italian? Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am. No
Do you
fugazi
know how
over
much I
here.
love
No fugazi.
Italians?
What'd you
You
say?
are amazing. I did not know. Like, you just blew my mind with that. Like, I had no clue
Oh,
that you were Italian as well. Like, I actually just recently I just started actually being a brand ambassador for a small Italian family restaurant out here in South Carolina. I love you freaking Italians. Y'all are amazing. And you got the best of both worlds.
oh
How dope
yeah.
is that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. I did the ancestry DNA. I already knew that, but just wanted to dig a little bit deeper and find out, a lot of my background. So I highly suggest doing that, and, digging into your roots and finding out, a little bit more about your family tree. That it's very amazing, the things that,
Yeah,
find out.
I think everybody should do that at some point.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure.
I want you to finish my sentence for me real quick.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody else, but God to me is
I don't know about everybody else, but God to me is amazing.
Yes.
Won't he do it?
Yes, he shall, honey. Yes, he shall. So now I know it's getting ready to come to that time where I have to let you go, but I do know there's a few things that people still want to know. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you about 3 quick questions, okay, that I know for a fact people definitely want to know. The first question is, are you in a relationship currently?
Oh, that's the first. I thought you were going to ask all three at the same
I,
time.
I was. I was at first, but I know how I am because I get to go inside. So let me just take it easy, Jazz. Ask the first question.
Right. I am recently single, so I am not in a relationship at this time.
Okay. Second question is, what is your type, honey? We got to know.
You know what? My type varies. It varies. It varies. It varies. I mean, lately I've been seeing a lot of men with no necks. So, he has to have a neck. Like, please have a neck. Please have an esophagus, something. Um, you
I'm
know.
fine. No, because I know what type of man you talking about, and I agree. It's something about a no neck that just it will turn your whole day around
It
with
will turn your
confusion.
life. It'll turn your life around. But all
So
jokes
in real life,
all jokes aside, someone that can carry a good conversation,
that's
you know,
important.
definitely someone that is, well traveled, that has, traveled outside of, College Park, Georgia. Um, Someone with a great sense of humor, someone that can hold his own, financially. I'm not in the business to take care of, a grown man
Say that.
or take on a liability. I'm looking for someone that will definitely complement me and my hard work as well. And then someone that I'm attracted to as well. And he doesn't have to be a pretty boy. He doesn't have to be attracted to everyone else. He just has to be attractive to me. And that could be being a good person on the inside, being a great father, being a great son, and just being an overall good person. So that's my type.
I love that. I absolutely positively love that. Okay, now the third question I'm actually going to not ask because I have a statement. We have to get you on another show. Like you need your own, like even if you created your YouTube channel where that is your reality show where you can create and keep the narrative where you need to have it, you have to have a show again. It's necessary.
Thank you.
Because you really do have such a dope personality. And so it's like really and truly, any more questions that I have for you, I would love to invite you to my live talk show here in the Carolinas. Um, yeah, and I'm actually going to be expanding. I hear that you're from the DMV as well.
Oh yes, go-go music, sardines and pork and beans, baby.
Yeah. See, listen, I knew. First, I was like, okay, she Aquarius. Like, what is it? But it's the DMV in you. I'm telling you, we could have a good time, okay? It could all be so simple. All
Right.
I know is I want to invite you. I'm going to make sure I get with your publicist. I would love to have you. Do you do mentoring for young girls?
I do. I definitely do. Sure do.
Perfect. So I have some bookings coming your way, my love. I cannot wait to have the opportunity to vibe with you again. Please, so I don't miss anything. Let me know what else you have coming out, what else you want to work on, or even if your announcement is just simply, you know what, Jazz, I think I'm gonna work on my own show. Whatever the Lord has laid upon your hearts is all.
Definitely. I will keep you in the loop of everything I have coming up for sure.
Please, and then make sure you let us know where we can follow you, where we can get any updates on what's going on.
Okay, my Instagram is Agent Brown Eyes. So that's the best place. You can inbox me, DM me, comment. I read everything.
You've been vibing with Jazzy B. Oh, I